Hey friends, Elizabeth here from Plant-Based Bride, back again with another video, finally bringing you my December Plan With Me video. The whole process of pulling together this final Plan With Me of 2022 was a journey and a half, which I will get into in just a second. But I did want to quickly thank Karev for collaborating with me on this video. So what's the story? Why is this video a couple weeks late? Let me share. I had my idea for my December theme about a month ago. I was excited about it. I got a bunch of reference photos. I spent a lot of time planning it out. I spent time sketching it, and then I settled down to film and painted the cover page. It took me a solid 2 days to finish the painting, and when I took a step back to look at it properly when I was done that day, preparing to set up to film the rest of the video the next day, I realized I hated it. It did not turn out the way I wanted. I didn't like the colors I'd chosen, the way they worked together. It just wasn't giving me the feelings I wanted it to give me. It just didn't turn out well. And I was at this crossroads where I felt, on the one hand, maybe I should just share it. I've put a lot of effort into this. It's not perfect, but it's fine. I'm on a timeline. I should just finish this video and move on. And then part of me was thinking, do you really want to finish off 2022 with a theme that you hate, where every time you look at the cover page, you just feel like it's not what you wanted and you're not happy with it at all? Do you really want to spend the hours and hours it's going to take to edit this video, staring at yourself, painting a painting that you know you hate? And the answer was no. I didn't want to do that. So I decided to start over. I took a step back. I gave myself a day to just decompress and do other things. And then I tried to come up with a new theme. And the first thing that popped into my head was winter birds. One of my favorite things about our new home is the number of birds we get in our backyard because we have a lot of trees back there. And I just love watching the birds land on the branches and hop around and ruffle their feathers and chirp at each other. They're adorable. And we have fewer birds out there now that it is super cold out. But we do still get a couple visitors a day, and I just immediately thought it would be really sweet to do some paintings that focused on some wintry birds on snow-covered branches being all adorable. And as I started to search for photographs of birds in winter, my favorites consistently were the chickadees. I just think chickadees are so darn cute. They might be one of the cutest birds in existence. If you disagree with me, you're wrong, but that's fine. Just kidding. If there's another cuter bird, please tell me in the comments, because there can never be too many cute birds. But anyway, I decided to go with chickadees, and I started gathering 5 bajillion reference images of chickadees in the winter time, looking at their cute little rotund, spherical, fluffy bodies and adorable little faces, and thinking about how I was going to paint them. And in doing all that research, gathering all those reference photos, I came across the artwork of Krista Eaton, who is a painter, and their paintings of birds are incredible. I highly recommend you go look at their work. But 2 of their paintings featuring chickadees in particular, I just thought were so adorable. The composition was really nice and balanced, and the way that Eaton rendered the birds themselves made them even cuter than they are in real life, if that's even possible. So I decided I was going to try to pay homage to Krista Eaton's adorable bird paintings and try my hand at recreating my 2 favorites. So these are my 2 attempts at creating a Krista Eaton style chickadee painting. Please go check out their work if you like how these turned out, because their stuff is like a million times better than what I did here. But I had a really fun time trying to recreate them, and it was just so much of a better experience than my first theme, my first attempt at creating a cover page. So thank goodness for Krista Eaton and their adorable paintings of birds, because they really saved me this month. I'll make sure to link Krista Eaton in the description box. You can go check out the original work that inspired these paintings. As always, I'm using my designer's gouache from Winsor & Newton to do these paintings. The specific colors that I used will be linked in the description box, as always, along with all of the other supplies I used. The whole process of painting these was really an exercise in patience and layering, moving slow, mixing slight variations on colors, adding a little bit here and there until the paintings came to life. And while they're definitely not perfect, I'm kind of in love with them. I think the chickadees are just so adorable. If you want to help me name them, feel free to leave your suggestions in the comments because I'm keeping the original paintings like I did with my October plan with me, where I kept my painting separate because I was really happy with it. I was happy with these 3 little chickadees and I wanted to preserve them. So instead of cutting up the original, I decided to scan this, print it out on regular paper, and cut it out so I could glue it into my bullet journal. So if you have name recommendations, leave them down below. I think the hardest part of painting these chickadees was the eyes, because chickadees don't have whites in their eyes and they have dark feathers around their dark eyes. I found it really difficult to sort of distinguish their eyes from the rest of their heads. And I think it's a little hard to see from a distance, but if you get a little closer up, you can see the little white highlights sort of around the eyeball that help to pop out the eyes. But that was definitely the hardest part. I went back and forth where I would add more white to the eyes and then feel like that was too much. It started to look cartoony. So then I would add more black to get rid of some of those highlights, but then you wouldn't be able to see where the eyes were anymore. And I went back and forth several times before I decided to just back away slowly. Today's video is kindly sponsored by Care Of. Care Of is a subscription service that ships high-quality, personalized vitamins, supplements, and powders to your door every month. If you're having trouble determining which vitamins you need or just feeling overwhelmed by the process, Care Of has a quiz on their website that takes all of the guesswork out of building your personalized routine. The super quick quiz asks you questions about your diet, lifestyle, and health goals, recommending the right vitamins and supplements for your specific needs. As a lifelong Canadian, I am very familiar with the drop of energy that comes every single winter like clockwork. My specific health goal with Care Of was to focus on boosting my energy. And Care Of is making it so easy to stick to taking my vitamins every single day because they come in such a convenient package. I keep my little cardboard dispenser up on this buffet, and every single morning when I'm making my coffee and my smoothie, I'm easily reminded to grab a packet and take my daily supplements. I love that Care Of's personalized daily packs are made from a compostable plant-based film. Some of the vitamins and supplements included in my personalized pack from Care Of include vitamin D, iron, and a B complex. B complex is amazing for both your energy and your hair. Iron is also super important for energy levels, as it's an essential mineral for red blood cell production. I'm also taking their vegan vitamin D3 for bone health and immunity. It's really important to take vitamin D when you're not getting enough sun, like we Canadians during the winter months. I've been taking my personalized supplements from Care Of for about 2 weeks now, and I'm definitely noticing a little bit of a boost in my energy, which is amazing. I know I can feel good about what I'm putting in my body because they use good for you, clean ingredients backed by scientific research. I love how easy and user-friendly the whole process is with Care Of, from taking the quiz and determining your health goals to getting your personalized packs made for you and sent to your door. I also love that Care Of isn't a one and done. You can retake the quiz when you need it, when your health goals have changed or your situation has changed, and they'll change your personalized packs to continue to suit your needs through different seasons of your life. Click on the link below and use my code plantbasedbride to get 50% off your first order with Care Of. Thank you so much to Care Of for sponsoring this video, and now let's get back to it. Now it's time to move on with finishing the cover page. And for this month, I decided to do a cover page on the left and a one-page calendar on the right. As per every December, I am running out of pages in my bullet journal, so I have to be more efficient with my spread usage, which has been exacerbated by the fact that I did a whole other cover page before this, which wasted a whole spread. I decided to go back to this messy, hand-drawn, scribbly serif font. I haven't used it for a little while, but it's a classic on my channel if you've been around here for a while. And I just felt like it had a little bit of a sort of whimsical, festive vibe without being too explicitly holiday. Keeping my calendar ridiculously simple, horizontal lines, stamping out the first letter of each day of the week, and writing out the days of the month. That's all I need. Quick, simple, easy, efficient. Just how I like it. Once I finished the calendar, I felt like something was missing. The page just felt a little empty, so I decided to add a frame around my cover page painting and the header there, and I love how that almost made it look like a little Polaroid or something, or a postcard. It just sort of gave that finishing touch to the cover page. And that's my tip of the day. If you feel like a spread is looking a little empty, feels a little unfinished, and you don't know what to do, try adding a simple frame around the page or around an element of the page, and that can really just sort of finish it off. Moving on to the next several spreads in this setup, which are going to be my weeklies. And I've hinted at this a little bit, but I'm trying a new style of weeklies for this month, and who knows how it's going to turn out. I'll keep y'all updated, but I am moving away from my rolling weekly this month. I know, who would have ever thought? I have been a devoted rolling weekly user for several years at this point, but especially at this time of year, I have so much going on. I'm very overwhelmed, and I've found in past years that when December comes around, I sometimes sort of end up abandoning my bullet journal and just using random pieces of paper that surround me because I'm just so all over the place that I need to write things down 500 times a day to make sure that I'm on track. So I wanted to try something different that I hoped would help me through this busy time of year, but also potentially be something that I can come back to at busy times, or maybe even become my new go-to for weeklies that consolidates my master to-do lists on more of a monthly level rather than the weekly level. So I'm starting by cutting out the tabs from my weeklies, and you'll notice that they're indented more than usual. I've split each page into thirds, and I'm basically cutting the last third off along with my little tabs for each week. This is so that no matter which week I'm on, I can see a third of the page on the left of the first spread here, and then also a third of the page on the final spread on the right. So the first spread is going to be split into 5 sections: YouTube specific tasks, Patreon specific tasks, Instagram and TikTok specific tasks, general plant-based bride related tasks, and then personal tasks separated into even sections. This is going to be like my master hub of to-do lists in all of these areas for this entire month. I decided to put YouTube first so that I could see that list no matter what week I'm on, because YouTube is sort of the primary focus for me in terms of work, and also the area that's the most busy for me in December. And this is basically a monthly version of my rolling weekly task list that I typically include on every weekly, split into the major categories instead of sort of combining them all on a single list that I migrate over from week to week. For the weeklies themselves, I'm keeping them really simple, splitting this center section into 8 even sections, one for each day of the week, so that I can write out my specific tasks during the day, as I always like to do. Especially when I get busy, I really like to write out every single task I want to get done, so I hopefully don't forget anything. And then one final section just for notes, where I can jot down anything I need to, just an extra space for me. The final spread is all about Plantmas. So the third on the right side, which I can see no matter what week I'm on, is going to be my Plantmas schedule. If you're new here, Plantmas is a bit of a tradition on this channel. It's my version of a Vlogmas, and typically what it's been for the past several years is me posting a video every day from the 14th to the 25th of December. This year, it's going to look a little different. It's a little modified. It's been a wild year for me, very overwhelming, exhausting year. In hopes of maintaining my sanity, I am reducing my schedule a little bit, and my goal is to post 3 videos a week for the 2 weeks leading up to Christmas. So Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday videos for 2 weeks, and then possibly maybe a bonus video on Christmas Day. So 6 to 7 videos in that time period instead of my typical 12. So I'm cutting the workload in half. I hope they'll give you all of the cozy vibes that you're looking for at this time of year. Flipping to the final spread of this setup, which is just going to be a final quote and my last little chickadee painting to finish off this year. So the quote I decided to use for this setup was, "Winter is a slow heartbeat, an aged murmur of lifelong love." There's just something really peaceful and lovely about that quote, so it felt perfect to finish off 2022. I also decided to add a little simple frame around the final chickadee painting to tie it in with that first spread. Thank you again to Kara for sponsoring this video. Don't forget to click the link in the description box and use my code plantbasedbride to get 50% off your first order with care of. So here's the final flip through of this December setup. It's pretty simple and practical this time around. Like I said, this is such a busy time of year. I really wanted these spreads to be as useful as possible, which is why I spent time coming up with a whole new way of doing my weeklies and my task lists for the month. Also, of course, I really wanted to get this done because it got pushed back because of my awful first attempt at making this video, and I wanted to be able to jump in and start using it. So, efficiency and simplicity all the way. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe if you haven't already so you catch all of the upcoming Plantmas videos. If you made it all the way to the end, leave some sort of bird or snow emoji in the comments so I know you're a real one. Thank you as always to my patrons for your support. Y'all are the best and I appreciate you so much. And with that, I'm gonna get going and I'll see you really soon in my next one for the first video of Plantmas 2022. See you there. Bye friends.